How much of your time now is spent on business ventures, your non-family time, versus what you would describe as political ventures, your own time?
Well, I don't have political ventures. I spend a lot of time fighting for the America First movement. I guess I've created a bit of a platform for myself. I was very actively involved in making sure that we have a bench, because again, getting into politics, if you've watched on the 10-year anniversary of this, they've tried throwing my father in jail. They've tried killing him twice. They've tried throwing me in jail. I want to make sure that this movement, goes well beyond my father and his 4 years. I want to make sure that we, create that bench of America First warriors. And I think it took the last 4 years of insanity to actually help find those people who are actually fighters, who aren't just going to revert back to the old sort of neocon uniparty ways, and really be able to do what's right for America.
So how big of a part of that bench are you personally? So as you say, it's 10 years, right, since your father came down the escalator in this building, really got into politics, and now, say, 10 years from now, is Donald Trump Jr. the name on the...
I have no plans on doing any of that right now. It was really about finding the people who want to do that. I think my primary focus, you need both.
Yeah.
Right? You need people who understand that movement in politics, but you also need those people in the private sector, right? You can have, the most, America First, cabinet for the next 50 years. It doesn't matter if the private sector is still dominant sort of by, woke corporate America. And so, I've focused, my energies on the business side. I'll campaign for those people who I think, will bring the same fight and spirit.
That's changed a lot,
politics. Right? Oh, 100%. Listen, I think
wouldn't you say, especially in technology?
Oh, well, yes. I think obviously still very dominant in that. I think, crypto leans very sort of libertarian. I think, AI is definitely, fairly dominated by the left, and I think, that's a scary prospect. And so I think you have to focus a lot of energy on that, making sure that all these messages get out, right? I mean, if you had a sort of a left-wing dominated AI, you'd be getting indoctrinated without even knowing it. The technology will get so good. It's not like what you were watching CNN a few years ago. You're like, I realize they're peddling a bunch of garbage. Like, I can see through that. AI will figure out how to target people and influence them in a way that you couldn't imagine. So, for us, it's about making sure that people really understand what's going on, and that has to be done in the corporate world as well. So that's my focus.
Venture or business that you're hinting at in AI?
No, not yet. I mean, I'm a neophyte when it comes to that world, but I would certainly invest in some of these businesses if I believe they weren't going to be sort of left-wing dominated, to try to do that or help promote those things. But you got to make sure you cover that full spectrum. I think so many Americans who are watching, they've seen people get debanked. They see innocent, mothers that go to PTA meetings get thrown on terror watch lists. They're domestic terrorists because they don't want their children getting indoctrinated, with DEI and other garbage that's out there. So, I'll always fight for that. Whether I, run or not, I have no intention of doing that right now. And I think, again, the last 4 years, we've created a solid bench of people who will do that. Don't just revert back to the old ways. But truly understand what this movement's all about, and we'll continue to fight for it.
But if you did run, would you run for anything other than president?
Oh, I get it. Honestly, I have no idea. Haven't thought about it. That I'm asked a lot is a great honor. I guess it means I've been fairly effective in doing what I did on on the political side. But I think it's about creating that bench and making sure we have that runway for the years to come.
Okay, one more then. Given the time we're having this conversation, do you have any thoughts on political violence and or the political rhetoric in this country? You know what happened in Minnesota recently, but of course your family is familiar with threats and political threats.
Listen, my father's been shot at. I've been tried to, the other side has tried jailing me. They talk a lot about, the rhetoric and the violence, and yet it seems to be mostly caused by them. The 2020 summer of love did not seem like a summer of love. The politicians at high-level places encouraging people to attack my father did not seem fair. If Republicans were doing that, they'd be thrown in jail. When a Democrat does it, it's to preserve democracy. You don't
think everybody's got to tune it down a little bit or turn it down a little bit?
Listen, I think what we have to actually do, I would love to see all of that turned down, but I think I'm seeing it come from the left. Everyone talks about Minnesota, but they don't talk about the guy seems to be a leftist. It's a Minnesota politician, or guy who was appointed by the Democrat governor, vice presidential candidate for the Democrat Party, Tim Walz. The guy that committed those atrocities this weekend is a Democrat.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.